So some Fox hosts think it's awesome that people have to work multiple jobs to pay the bills in today's economy. This is the kind of video that is a self-parody. You don't have to try to parody it. It does that on its own. Let's take a look.
You know what Kamala Harris says is so disingenuous. For most of my life, I've worked 2 or 3 or 4 types of jobs, of sources of income. Right. Today, you can do that more flexibly. How many people do you know who do something and then maybe in their free time they drive an Uber or they do something else to bring in extra cash? Thank God we live in the kind of country where we have the innovation and flexibility, where you can bring in money from different places and do different things.
When I'm in an Uber and you talk to them, you get to know them. Many of them do say they're doing this to make a little extra money, and then we start talking. Well, how much extra do you mind if I ask? Do you make a week? And it's enough to pay for their kids to take an extra swim class, this one guy told me, or it's enough to put a little bit of money aside for their kids to go to college. I love those types of people. My dad worked several jobs. If he had the opportunity to make a little extra, he would.
So notice how they're defining it. What they're doing is they're saying, well, why are you complaining? You have the freedom to work like 3 or 4 jobs. The freedom to work those jobs. What are you talking about? The reason why people are working multiple jobs is in 95% of cases, if not more, not because it's like, well, yippee skidoo, chief, I want to go and get another job. No, the reason they're doing it is because they're like, oh, wow, I can't afford to live the life I want to live on one job. I can't afford to send my kids to college. Send my kids to whatever it may be, swim class, karate class, whatever. I can't afford that. Sorry, I got to pay the light bill. And, I got to pay the water bill and the food. So that other stuff, I don't have enough to do it. Now, if you ask those people, would you rather work another job in order to do those things, or would you rather work the same job you have, your main job, but make enough money to live that normal life? What do you think they'd pick? I'll tell you. Don't even bother trying to come up with an answer. The answer is they would much rather say, yeah, I want to work a full-time job, and from that full-time job, make enough money to pay for the life I want to live. Make it so my kids can go to college. They can go to that swim class or whatever it is. They're trying to frame it as if you cannot question the way society functions right now. And that is like Conservatism 101. Is that, hey, don't change anything. Don't change much. Status quo. Keep it like it is. Tradition for tradition's sake. It's like this, and it should be like this. It's like this for a reason. So, therefore, when you see somebody working 3 or 4 jobs, you don't sympathize and go, oh, damn, man, that's kind of rough. You go, well, isn't that wonderful? You have the freedom to work 4 jobs. This reminds me of the George Bush thing when this poor lady at a rally, this is back, I think, when he was running for president either the first or second time, poor lady at a rally says she's working like multiple jobs, and George Bush goes, that's great. That's uniquely American, isn't it? It's like, oh, no, bro. She was trying to sympathize. She was trying to, tell everybody, damn, we really got to fix this system because I have to work 3 or 4 jobs in order to pay the bills. How do they not get it that this is not, you sound like a bunch of idiots when you say the things that you're saying here. In their mind, they view you as just an economic agent. That's it. You are what your economic value is. Full stop. That's what you're worth. Your worth as a human being is tied to your economic worth. And I just fundamentally reject that notion. You're not just an economic agent. You're not just, a spoke in a machine, a spoke in a wheel, whatever. I don't even know what a spoke is. I don't know why I used spoke there. But you're not solely an economic agent. Your human value is not the same as your economic value. Everybody should have the ability to have leisure time and to relax and do what they want in that leisure time and not have to worry about having the basics in that leisure time. But the way Fox News views you is no, if you're making a starvation wage, that's your fault. Even if you're working a full-time job and busting ass, no, there's something wrong with you. That's a reflection of immorality or weakness, that you're working full-time and you make a starvation wage and you don't make enough money to survive. There's something defective with you, not the system. Not the system's fine, even though it makes people work full-time and you don't make enough money to survive. System's fine. You're the problem. Just work harder. Get a third job. Get a fourth job. Shut the fuck up. Really gross rationalizers, but also really, really comfortable rich people who don't know how to empathize with anybody.